Notice of void unconscionable contracts. Your name or organization. Your address. City, state, zip code. Email address. Phone number. Date. 2. Recipient's name or organization. Recipient's address. City, state, zip code. Subject. Formal notice of void unconscionable contracts. Dear, recipient's name. Legal basis for this notice. This letter serves as formal notification that any contract, agreement, or obligation deemed unconscionable, fraudulent, or obtained through coercion, misrepresentation, or lack of full disclosure is hereby declared null and void ab initio. Any attempt to enforce such contracts constitutes a violation of contract law, equitable doctrines, and fundamental due process rights. Contracts must be consensual and equitable. A valid contract requires voluntary, informed, and mutual agreement between competent parties. Unconscionable contracts are legally unenforceable. Any contract containing oppressive, deceptive, or grossly unfair terms is void under contract law principles. Fraudulent inducement renders a contract void. Any contract entered into through deceit, coercion, or material omission of facts is unenforceable. Jurisdictional and legal limitations. No entity may claim contractual authority without proper legal standing and adherence to fair dealing principles. Immediate required actions. Cease and desist any attempt to enforce an unconscionable contract. Any demand, obligation, or enforcement action based on a void contract must be immediately withdrawn. Provide verifiable proof of a lawful contract. If the recipient asserts contractual authority, they must present verifiable documentation proving legal enforceability. Acknowledge and confirm the nullity of any unconscionable agreement. The recipient must formally recognize the invalidity of any fraudulent or unfair contract. Legal consequences for noncompliance. Failure to acknowledge and adhere to this notice of void unconscionable contracts may result in legal challenges and contractual disputes. Any attempt to enforce an invalid contract may be met with formal legal action and judicial review. Liability for fraudulent misrepresentation. Any party attempting to assert contractual authority under fraudulent or misleading terms may be held liable. Public and legal scrutiny. Continued misrepresentation or enforcement of void contracts may lead to reputational harm, regulatory penalties, and financial liability. This notice serves as official documentation affirming that any unconscionable, fraudulent, or unenforceable contract is legally null and void. Any failure to comply with this notice shall be subject to full legal rebuttal and enforcement measures. A response addressing this matter is expected no later than specific date. If further clarification is required, you may contact me at your contact information. Sincerely. Your name. Your position, if applicable. Your organization name, if applicable. Enclosures, list any attached documents,